This is Pulse of Africa, the face and voice of Africa. The story of resurgent and burgeoning Africa is here, only on the Pulse of Africa channel. Pulse of Africa, the face and voice of Africa.
Greetings, you're watching Pulse of Africa News live from Addis Ababa, the diplomatic hub of Africa. We bring you the top stories from across the continent. I'm Gamachisa Mandida. Stay tuned. First, let's take a look at the top entertainment stories that have been lighting up the continent this week. Rwandan poet Sylvester Nsengimana is set to launch his debate poetry album, Tears in a Verse, in Paris, France this February, a project that he describes as a deeply personal journey of sorrow, resilience and truth. The Paris launch follows his selection for the Goethe Mobility Grant under the Africa-Europe Partnerships for Culture Sub-Saharan Africa component, a program that supports short-term travel for artists and cultural professionals across Africa and Europe. In an interview with the New Times, Nsengimana said he subtitled his 17-piece album as a way of amplifying stories and sparking meaningful conversations through poetry. Out of more than 600 applicants, only 55 artists were selected. I was very happy when I received the admission email. I couldn't believe it and had to read it several times, he said. Nsengimana explained that Tears in a Verse was born out of deeply personal experiences and emotional moments in his life. While the poems began as a form of self-expression and healing, he believes they speak to shared human realities. The poetry we write in solitude is not just our own voice, he said. Everyone can find themselves in it. Healing sometimes comes from realizing that someone else understands your story. I wrote these poems to remind people that pain can be transformed into power and silence into song. This is not just a story. I am offering my heart through poetry, a mirror for anyone who has carried tears in secret. The bilingual album, written in both Kinyarwanda and English, features collaborations with other poets. In just a few short weeks since its January 23rd release, the collaborative EP from Eazi and Nsengimana, titled Real Volume 1, has officially crossed the 50 million streams mark on Spotify. This achievement isn't just a win for the duo, it cements a legendary perfect record for Eazi. With his milestone, every single project Eazi has ever released has now surpassed 50 million streams on the platform. From the classic Superstar album to the global phenomenon Made in Lagos and now Real Volume 1, the Star Boy's consistency remains unmatched in the African music industry. The EP's success was signaled early on when the lead single, Jogodo, shattered the record for the high single-day streams for a collaborative track in Nigeria, pulling in over 1.3 million plays in just 24 hours. The four-track project, which features a heavy hitters like Turbulence and Alayi, has benefited from the perfect synergy between Asaki's signature Afrofusion energy and Wizkid's smooth, effortless delivery. This project marks Asaki's 5th and Wizkid's 8th project to hit this specific benchmark. This news comes on the heels of Wizkid becoming the first African artist to surpass 10 billion total streams on Spotify across all credits earlier this year. As Afrobeats continues its global takeover, Wizkid and Asaki are proving that when the Landlord and the Lugu Boy team up, the charts belong to them.
The African Union pursues institutional reforms to enhance self-reliance, efficiency, and coordination, including improved financing and streamlined structures. These changes enable quicker responses to priorities and a stronger alignment with Agenda 2063 objectives. The reforms empower the EU to represent the continent more effectively on global stages. African leaders will advance these initiatives at the 39th Ordinary Session of the AU Assembly on February 14th and 15th, 2026, here in Addis Ababa. Pulse of Africa will highlight this institutional progress. Tune in for in-depth coverage of the issue.
Cleaner cities are creating healthier, safer, and more livable communities in Ethiopia. Every small change makes a big difference.
Nigerian singer and entrepreneur Alwatosin Olwale Abejade, popularly known as Mr. Eazi, has urged African leaders and institutions to remove barriers that limit trade movement and innovation across the continent. Speaking at the 2026 Africa Prosperity Dialogue held under the theme Empowering SMEs, Women and Youth in Africa's Single Market, Innovate, Collaborate, Trade, Mr. Eazi said Africa must move from ideas to action if it is to fully benefit from the African continental free trade area. Drawing from his experience as a businessman, he said he has spent the last 4 years of his career focusing on solving problems that make it difficult for Africans to do business across border. Mr. Eazi revealed that he has invested in business operating in 19 African countries, including a company he described as one of his proudest achievements. He explained that borders as they currently operate create serious challenges for Africans trying to move goods, make payments and comply with regulations. According to him, these challenges affect young people the most, including artists, creators, influencers, women and small business owners who want to improve their lives and contribute to Africa's development. He described the idea of a borderless Africa as one that has moved from philosophy to necessity. Mr. Eazi pointed out that while agreements and frameworks are already in place, the real challenge lies in implementation. He said a more connected Africa would help small businesses grow into continental champions using his own companies as an example. According to him, stronger integration will also allow women and youth to fully participate in the single market and improve Africa's position in the global economy. The Joburg Film Festival, JFF, in partnership with MultiChoice Group, a Canal Plus company, has revealed its official 2026 program, a powerful, globally curated selection that positions the festival firmly at the intersection of African storytelling and international cinema excellence. Running from 3 to 8 March 2026, the festival will present over 60 curated films, including 40 fiction feature films, 18 non-fiction feature films, 65 short films, including 9 student works selected from 691 submissions spanning Africa, Europe, the USA, South America, the UK, Asia, and the Middle East. The screenings will take place at various cinemas across Johannesburg. Guided by the 2026 theme, Feel the Frame, this year's program celebrates not only stories, but the craft of filmmaking itself, from performance and sound to form, structure, and visual language. Beyond screenings, festival goers can look forward to premieres, red carpet moments, filmmakers, question and answer panels, networking events, and exclusive masterclasses. We always seek to create a platform that reflects the breadth and depth of contemporary filmmaking, says Joburg Film Festival curator Nalala Ndaba. This year's program centers layered human stories from across the continent and the world, films that are entertaining, challenging, and deeply resonant, he noted. Turning to our business headlines, the outlook for African banks remains broadly positive in 2026, supported by economic and financial conditions favorable to loan growth and improving asset quality in most countries, S&P Global Ratings said in a report published recently. Titled Africa Banking Outlook 2026, Favorable Conditions Support Loan Growth and Asset Quality, the report expects stronger economic growth in most of the 5 countries where the 22 banks rated by the agency operate. Robust growth is forecast in Morocco and Nigeria, while a modest recovery is expected in South Africa, driven by steady progress on economic reforms, rising infrastructure investment, and stronger consumption. More broadly, geopolitical risk, a key concern for credit conditions in emerging markets, has not had a significant impact on macroeconomic performance of African countries so far. However, the region remains vulnerable to geopolitical tensions that could disrupt trade routes, affect commodity prices, and undermine investor or consumer confidence. S&P Global Ratings also expect African banks to offset the negative impact of declining interest rates through high loan volumes and low credit losses. Greater diversification of business models is expected to help stabilize profitability at South African banks. While customer deposits are expected to remain the main source of funding, S&P anticipates differences in profitability across countries. Proparco, the private sector arm of the Agence Francaise de Development Group, said on Thursday that it had made an disclosed investment in Helios Climate Fund, a vehicle managed by Helios Investment Partners that focuses on financing Africa's climate transition. Helios Climate Fund recently completed a second closing, bringing total commitments to about $250 million, according to the fund's manager. The fund seeks to mobilize long-term private capital to support Africa's energy and climate transition with investments spanning power generation, climate-resilient infrastructure, sustainable mobility, and low-carbon industrial solutions. In a statement, Proparco's chief executive Francois Lambert said that Africa's climate transition faces immense financing needs while also offering significant opportunities for economic and social transformation. She said the partnership is intended to help African companies scale up while delivering measurable climate, economic, and social benefits. The investment follows an earlier commitment by Proparco in 2024 when it invested $20 million in Helios Sports and Entertainment Group, and Helios platform focused on sports, cultural, and creative industries linked to Africa. Shifting to sports news, former Medeama SC right back Kamari Dini Madu Mamadou made an encouraging start to life at Sudanese giants Al Hilal, registering an assist on his debut despite their 2-1 loss to MC Alger in competitive encounter. The Ghanaian defender was introduced into the game and featured for 30 minutes, quickly making his presence felt with a lively and disciplined performance on the right flank. Mamadou set up Al Hilal's lone goal of the match, showcasing his attacking instincts and ability to deliver in crucial moments. Beyond the assist, the former Medeama man produced a solid all-round display. He recorded one shot inside the box, created a big chance, and completed one of his 2 attempted dribbles. In position, Mamadou was efficient, completing 2 of his 2 passes in the final third and executing his only long pass successfully. Defensively, he also showed resilience, winning 2 of his 3 ground duels as he worked tirelessly to contain MC Alger's attacking threats. Although Al Hilal fell short on the scoreline, Mamadou's performance stood out as a major positive for the Sudanese side. His debut display suggests he could become an important asset as the club looks to strengthen its squad for domestic and continental challenges. Malawi has been selected among 5 countries worldwide to participate in the FIFA Unite program, a prestigious initiative drawn from FIFA's 211 member associations. The other nations selected for the program are Solomon Islands, Bulgaria, Jordan, and Honduras, making Malawi one of only 5 member associations globally to benefit from the 2026 edition of the program, which was officially launched in 2023. FAM marketing manager Mamiako Kafamba is among the 5 representatives selected from the participating nations. The FIFA Unite program is designed to support targeted development projects, with Malawi set to benefit directly through investment in women's football and beach soccer. These 2 areas have been identified as key drivers for increased participation, youth engagement, and long-term growth of the game. Now let's check out the latest weather forecast across the continent. That's all for this hour. Thanks for being with us and goodbye.